Hello from Pulau Serangan. Let's see what happens today. I came to Pulau Serangan because I haven't been here for about 20 years, and even then I only came just to go to the main temple here. And aside from that, I really don't know anything about it. So I'm starting off in the car park area down here. Well, it's not really even a car park, it's just where I park my bike, where there are a string of seafood warungs. And it looks fairly local style. Well, it is local style because there's not going to be any foreigners coming down here. They're doing things like ikan bakar, soup ikan. They'll do squid, they'll do octopus. Not that busy yet because we're not really in prime eating time. There's a whole string of these little seafood warungs. And it's actually quite interesting because this area is really close to Sanur. It's 15 minutes by car or motorbike, unless you get a lot of traffic, but generally about 15 minutes. So you can zip down here, and if you really want some cheap, fresh seafood, they've got it here. If you don't want to go all the way to Jimbaran, or you're not really interested in warung amphibia in Sanur, which is a good one, by the way. Or if you just want to try something different. Pak, ngapain? Ngapain, Pak? Oh, motong, kenapa? Mau bikin sesuatu atau gimana? Senang. Yeah, mari, Pak. Very friendly guy. This is actually the road up to the main temple. The road into the town on Pulau Serangan is up there. It's actually being expanded quite a lot since the early days, and they're doing a lot of land reclamation, and there's some sort of strategic national project to make this a tourist island. I mean, I don't know how it's going to go, and it's been going on for such a long time. Kalau begini Bu, nggak sopan mungkin Bu. Nggak apa-apa. Yeah. Makasih Bu. So we're renting a couple of sarongs here, surrounded by the dogs, of course. So just out the front of the temple, there's a lady that'll rent you a sarong for 10,000 rupiah. So we'll just have a quick look around this temple. It was built in, originally, the original structure was built in 1250. And today it's quite quiet. This is actually the temple that I came to about 20 years ago with a Balinese family. And at that time, I was told that it was quite an important temple for all Balinese people. And it's a place that they sort of will pilgrimage to. Well, I don't know if it was on a special event or not, but from time to time, they'll pilgrimage here. There's a bit of construction going on at the moment over there. I'll have a look. And that seems to be one of the old structures here. It looks absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm not allowed inside that walled area. As with a lot of things in Bali, it's quite difficult to know what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. So I always err on the side of caution and don't do things unless I ask first. I always ask because you can put your foot in it real easily. You do one of those big cultural faux pas and no one wants to do that. Just going around the back of the temple, because I always find that around the back of the temple you can get some really good views of things usually. And here we've got steps down to the ocean. So this is we're on the island here. Over the other side is the mainland of Bali. In the distance, you can just see the tips of Suwung Tip, the place where all your rubbish goes if you're staying in the south of Bali. All ends up there, and it's piling up really high these days. Got a few stonemasons that work here, cutting these bricks aside. Hello. Dari mana? Kalian dari mana? Singaraja. Singaraja? Iya. Wow. Dan sering bangun candi kayak gini? Ali candi, bikin candi, ali bangunan atau apa? Ya, bikin candi. Bikin candi. Oh, wow. Menarik sekali. Ya. Mari. Oh, those guys are experts at building temples. That's a pretty cool job, going around the place building temples. I actually always wondered how they got built and why they're always such good quality. Does every village have their own skill in making them? Obviously, there are guys who go around and build these things who are very good at it. They're from Singaraja doing a tour around the island, doing contract jobs. That's a pretty cool job to have because I reckon there would be an unlimited amount of work to do. It's still dry season here in Sanur, yet the weather is cloudy. It's one of those days again when it almost feels like it's going to rain. I wouldn't be surprised if we got wet on this walk. It's one of those days, very windy as well, very windy. It's not that it's unpleasant because the temperature is really pleasant. It's just that it's not that bright sunny day that we usually expect in the middle of the dry season where you might go a month without without a drop of rain. Having said that, it hasn't rained that much, really. It's just more than normal. It's not like it's raining every day now. Earlier in the dry season, it was a little bit more consistent, but we've had a few days now without rain and it's been okay. But again, I think that's very localised as well, because I have read reports that it's been quite wet in Ubud. So, and Ubud's not far from here. It's only 20 kilometres. So, I don't know. Different sort of microclimates all across Bali give different results. I'm actually walking along the boundary road of Pulau Serangan at the moment. It's the road that is against the ocean. So the ocean here is on the left behind those warungs. It's like the bamboo, the mangrove area, but it's water. And then on that side is where the village is on this island. There's a dude doing pork satay. That looks nice. Oh, look at that. It's a boat graveyard. That's weird, isn't it? A couple of boats there that are busted up. And then behind that, I can see some sort of pontoon in the water that doesn't look so abandoned, but I'm not sure how you get to it. Maybe it's accessible from the ocean, I'm not sure, but from here, it doesn't really look accessible. Now, those people over there are digging something. I'd love to know what they're digging up. Bu, lagi cari apa?
Cari kerang.
Kerang ya? Yang kecil? Pak, ada banyak di sini? Sedikit. Prosesnya lama, Bu. Harus digaruk-garuk. Oh, jadi ini kalau udah surut. Oh ya, kalau udah surut lumayan jauh, lebih banyak. Oke, makasih ya. Mari. Oh, there's a bunch of guys coming out of there. They've been doing fishing out. Oh, there's a bunch of guys out there in the water, really far. Wow. Halo. Hasilnya enggak. Oh, okay, lumayan. Yeah. So the water at the moment it's sort of like the high tide at the moment, or it's sort of on the way in. And there's a bunch of guys out there that's hard to see because they're quite far away. But basically, they're about waist to chest deep, and they're fishing with rods and nets out there. And those guys coming up there, they've just come in with a bunch of small fish. I've actually heard that this island is really popular for the fishermen around Bali. They love to come here. It's sort of like a hobby. It's not like a business thing. The hobby for the fishermen to come here because it's a good island for accessibility. And with some of these new projects that are going on, that hampers some of the fishermen's access to places. This one's a cool one. They've got a grill over there for their ikan bakar. And they're using these coconut husks for their to get the smokiness on that fish. That's a real sort of, hello. That's a real professional operation, that one. A little bit more advanced ikan bakar. So if you like your grilled fish, I reckon that could be a good one. And it's pretty popular too, a 3-story joint. That one's called Warung Pondok Bawang. They've even got a Echaya fried chicken. That's a classic. Woo, chilok. Bit of bakso there as well. They're little gerobak that are selling these little snacks. They're usually pretty nice just to go and grab a snack or two. I know a lot of people are a little bit hesitant to buy from those food carts, and I am sometimes too. I'm not hesitant because of hygiene. I'm normally hesitant because sometimes the food isn't up to standard. It's a bit hit or miss. You've got to know the ones to really understand what's what. Now, when you're on the road a little bit in Indonesia and you're starving, well, you are going to stop at one of those little gerobaks and you're going to get whatever they serve up. And sometimes it's unreal. Like I remember getting a bag of fried bananas at one time, and they were using some custom batter that I've never tasted before. And the particular type of banana they were using was different to the type that I would normally get. And the combination was just absolutely spectacular. And it was quite a random sort of snack that I got. And I sort of remember that as a lesson that you can't really know what you're going to get before you try it out at one of these gerobaks, because they generally don't have reviews. You've got no idea what they're going to be like. That's part of the fun, I guess. And if it's a little bit unhygienic, well, that's just more flavour, isn't it? I'm getting followed by dogs again. These ones stink a bit because they've been swimming. Wet dog smell. Wow, I've got a tropical fish here. Look at that. They're iridescent. They've got all sorts of different fish in there. Amazing. Well, that's interesting. What's the name of this place? I don't see any name. But Joll ikan hias. Ikan hias is like a decorative fish. There is a word hias, there is a word hiasan, so ikan hias, decorative fish more or less. I mean, it doesn't really translate that well because we don't use the word decorative fish, but it's basically fish that you're not going to eat, you're going to use it in your aquarium. I was just speaking to a local guy about the project that's going on here on Pulau Serangan, which I've read is a little bit controversial, but it depends who you read and who you speak to. He's a local guy that is actually employed by the project here. And for him, he says his life's improved incredibly because of the project, because now he has a proper job and his kids can go to a proper school. The healthcare has increased in his lifetime. It's increased massively here. When he was born here, they used to have to get a boat to the mainland if someone was sick, and it meant that a lot of people died. So his life has improved incredibly over the years. And I guess that's part of the tension that occurs when there is development. Bapak, aku suka kacamata Bapak. Bagus banget itu. Lebih bagus daripada yang aku punya.
Bagus ini.
Yang Bapak punya lebih bagus.
Bagus itu. Coba lihat. Coba lihat.
Gantian.
Ya, coba ini. Bagus apa enggak?
Look at those. They all right?
Bagus itu.
Oh, bagus banget itu.
Saya ke sini ya.
Oh, bagus.
Ya, bagus ini.
Ya.
Ya.
Gantian ya Pak. Gantian lagi.
Ya. Bagus.
Oh, makasih Pak.
Tinggal di mana?
Aku tinggal di Sanur.
Sanur. Oh.
Ya, tapi
itu siapa itu cewek itu?
itu istri saya, orang Bandung.
Oh,
Ya.
enggak punya anak.
Belum. Bapak kerja apa?
Apa?
Kerja apa biasanya, Pak?
Saya kerja biasa ini untuk ngantar-ngantar orang mancing.
Ya.
Nelayan.
Tiap hari ke laut atau enggak?
Enggak.
Mancing sendiri?
Yang dulu sendiri.
Kenapa enggak sekarang?
Sudah tua.
Sudah tua. Tapi hasilnya masih sama seperti dulu atau enggak? Dulu lebih banyak.
Bagusan yang dulu.
Biasanya kalau Bapak antar orang mancing, mulai dari sini.
Ya.
Kalau bayar berapa biaya?
1,5
Juta
ya.
per hari.
Ya.
Itu lumayan mahal, Pak.
Biasa itu.
Itu harga bule, Pak.
Ya.
Kalau harga lokal gimana?
Kalau lokal 1 juta.
700 boleh.
Juta.
Ya, harga nego. Kalau Bapak lagi malas, mahal. Kalau Bapak lagi rajin, lebih murah. Oh ya. Makasih Pak, makasih ya. Ya. Nice guys. Love those guys. So you can go fishing here if you want to have a go. Price highly negotiable. It varies from. Ooh, I've got another dog on me here. He's a happy dog. Varies from 700 to like 1.5 million, depending on how he feels. It's a really interesting place. This island. It's got a really island feel to it. Like it does feel like an island. Typical island feel to it. The people are sort of relaxing by the edge of the ocean. But you've also got all of that. It happens a lot around the coastlines here in Indonesia where you've got things that break are just left there. There's a lot of that too. I'm not slamming that at all because that's just normal. But it just has that feel about it's a little bit run down. Really interesting, of course. But yeah, the island vibes are here as well. Lots of people like these guys. Hello. These guys just sitting down there having a cigarette, having fun. Well, not fun, just nongkrong. Lots of people nongkrong around here. Interesting place, a really interesting place. Look at that. That's for sale. That entire house there, joglo, for sale. I don't know if it's a joglo, but they're calling it joglo. It's that style for sale. It's actually not in use at the moment, and it looks pretty nice. It's a bit sad that that's sort of sitting there in a little bit of disrepair. I reckon that'd need a little bit of work as well. Some of those beams are getting a little bit rotten because they're exposed to the rain so much, and then maybe it's the wrong wood or not treated or whatever. But it's a nice little design. It's a bit sad to see it just sitting there. But if you're after a joglo, get one of those. Look at that, they're calling that a Marina Lodge, a little hotel. That's interesting, isn't it? I guess the thing is, here, this is actually a jumping off point for some of the islands. You don't have to go to the harbour in Sanur to do all your trips to the islands. You can do them from here as well. There's companies that run from here. I've never done it before, but I guess what I'm guessing the benefit is by coming here is that the process of getting on and off is going to be a lot less stressful. And in Sanur, it's just so busy and it's a little bit chaotic. Here, I can imagine it's not chaotic at all. The only negative is that the online taxis are not allowed to pick up here, which is the same in Sanur as well, but it means you're going to have to negotiate with the driver here, and we don't know what the price is going to be, of course. We're getting close to the harbour now. I'm seeing some more of these fast boats to the Gillies being advertised now. I'm not sure of all the arrangements, but I'll see if I can find a little bit more information about them, because I think that's a little, a nice little bit of an alternative, you know. There's another one up here, PT PT Budiman Indah Perkasa, Serangan, Nusa Penida, Gili Trawangan, and then to Pantai, or to Bangsal on Lombok. Here we go, Echaya. They're one of the famous ones. Everyone loves Echaya because I have heard they have a reputation for being a little bit safer. And what they're saying here is they're going from Serangan, which is where we are, to Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan, Padang Bay, Gili Islands, Bangsal, Singigi. So all of those places are within reach of this place, which is really interesting. I think I prefer this. The feel here at this port is much better than the one in Sanur, which is just, it's chaos. It's chaos and stressful, and you don't know where your boat is, and they're shouting out numbers and all this sort of stuff. Here, unreal. There's hardly anyone here. Look at it. Like, this is almost to the entry point to the boats, and there's hardly anyone here. That's pretty cool. Maybe it's the time of day as well. That's your entry point to the boats. So that's it. If you're deciding to go to one of the islands, this is not a bad little option as well. If you get online and buy your tickets online, you might find a departure point that's Serangan instead of Sanur, and it's just here. It's probably not much further. If you're staying in Sanur, it's not much further to come here. And then when you take into account waiting times and stuff, it might actually be quicker. We've finally reached the end of the island. Across that little brick wall there, there's a little river, and that gets onto the new part of Serangan, which you're not allowed to go to, which is under development. But this is where a lot of the locals are coming down to have a swim in the beach. The beach is not bad. I mean, I can probably think of better beaches, but it's not terrible. People are swimming in the beach, they're coming down for a bit of a feed, people are flying kites, and it's just a family affair. The sun sets in that direction, and then over here, it's actually a little bit brighter over there because the clouds are not so thick. We like to complain sometimes about the prices in Bali, and they have increased over the years for sure, especially in some of the tourist areas. But when you come to a place like this, and you see it's packed with 100% locals, and I guess the type of local that's here, these people don't have a lot of money. So for sure, the places that they're eating at are not expensive. So that sort of cheap Bali still exists, especially in a place like Pulau Serangan. Stand up, stand up. Yeah. This is the traditional cockfighting that we have in Bali. What we're seeing here is that basically two roosters fight each other. There's no injury involved or anything, no harm to the animals happening here. What they do is they fire them up, and they just sort of have a bit of a fight with each other. No betting or anything like that. Oh, there we go. One of them ran away. So it's I know that it's controversial, and there are laws for the gambling side of things, but at the moment, these guys aren't gambling. They're just having a bit of fun and just showing off their prize pets here, and just a bit of a practice, really. But in ceremonial events, it's actually allowed. So I'm not going to film one of those because I've seen them before and they're quite brutal. But this one is just a bit of fun. And honestly, there's some really good-looking birds here. Just the colours. I'll show you this one. Look at this. Look at the colours of this one. It's beautiful. Wow, look at that. Cantik banget yang ini. Cantik. Yeah, amazing. If you've been in Bali long enough and you've been out into just into the back streets, you will have seen cockfighting. It's something of a cultural thing that happens here, and it can be fairly gruesome when they attach knives to the spurs of the roosters. And there are, look, There are laws against just gambling on cockfighting. I don't know what the specific laws are. I don't like to see that, but that's reality. What they were doing today was just a bit of practice. You know, they get their chickens together, have a bit of a sparring match just to see if their roosters are any good or not, and have a bit of fun. They're not gambling. There's none of the chickens are getting, or none of the roosters are getting hurt. I know this is going to be a controversial thing to put in the video, but I think it's reality, and I'm not going to make a comment on whether I support it or not. I mean, my views are kind of irrelevant, really. But I'd be interested to know what your views about it are. I mean, what I just saw then, are you okay with that? Do you think that's okay? What about when they put spurs on them? What do you think about that? But I'm not promoting it. This is simply what happens in Bali, wherever you go, and whether it's on my video or not, it's happening. Whatever the case, I find it quite interesting. I'm an animal lover, so I do have a compassion towards animals. It's a bit like bullfighting in Spain. It's a tradition. I don't really want to see animals die like that, but I do respect the tradition as well. And you know, it's hard, isn't it? Really hard to get your head around some of these things sometimes. I know some people are very clear-minded about it, both ways. I'm not one of those people. Been a bit of an eye-opener down here at Serangan today. I hadn't expected to see half the stuff I've seen, including the cockfighting, the fishermen, some of the guys sort of nongkronging around the place, having a bit of chat with those. It's been really enjoyable, and one of the things that really stands out to me, maybe not for a holiday, but from a living point of view, the thing that stands out for me, it has a bit of a grittiness and realness to it that I really enjoy. The grittiness is, it's hard to put your finger on, because when we say grittiness, we sometimes mean dirty. And that's not what I like. It's not the dirtiness, but it's the lack of polish that I really like. It's the realness of it all. And that's something that I'm quite attracted to. And sometimes I miss that. The interactions with the people are real. And those real interactions are what I really love. Thanks for coming along for the ride today, and thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur and the rest of Indonesia. I'll catch you next time. Sampai jumpa.